The Seder Pesach is right around the corner. One of the main purposes of the seder is to remind us that Hashem is with us in our days and that Hashem can help us today, just like Hashem helped Am Yisrael in Egypt. One part of the seder alludes to this based on a beautiful explanation that I heard to the custom of Yachatz, which is breaking the matzah, the middle matzah, into two, taking the smaller matzah, lifting it up for the halachma, putting aside the bigger piece for a later part of the seder. This is the symbolism. We break the matzah. This hints to our time of brokenness. When we begin the seder, we're broken. We're enslaved in Egypt. We're supposed to experience that type of feeling. Our whole seder begins with brokenness. But we take the bigger piece, we put it aside till later time in the seder. We go through the whole seder. We talk about our redemption. We talk about how Hashem helped us and saved us. Once we finally finish telling the story of Egypt, we come back to that piece that we hid. We get to the tzafun part of the Haggadah, and we take the larger piece and we eat it. That's called the afikomen. The afikomen, we eat it corresponding to the consumption of the Paschal offering, the Pesach sacrifice. The Pesach sacrifice hints to our redemption, our redemptive state. The idea behind this is that we hide this bigger piece at the time of our brokenness to hint to the idea that even when we're broken, even when things are really bad for us and tough for us, many times there's redemption that's hidden in that very moment. Hashem already has a plan for how Hashem's going to help us, how Hashem's going to use this negative experience to help us achieve a higher level. So that's the idea of Yachatz. We break the matzah in the beginning of the seder. At that time, we're in our broken state. We're still slaves in the story of Egypt. We hide the larger piece for later on to hint to the fact that the big redemption is embedded in that very moment of brokenness. We don't eat it though, because we wait for after the whole describing of the story through Magid. At that point, we finally understand the bigger picture, then we eat it. Because at that moment, we can recognize how great the redemption was and how it was actually hidden in the very moment of our brokenness.